Good morning. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. This was put out by Nico Kuhn on Instagram just last night. And we're going to look into that before we talk about Dyson Maida's post by Celtic, by Rio Hitate's post by Celtic, by the upcoming tour of Italy. Well, it's not a tour of Italy, is it? It's the Como Cup. And we're also going to talk about the Newcastle, the Adidas Cup that we're playing for this summer, and how much money Celtic can make before they even start spending anything. And let's face it, we're going to make way over 20 million, way more than 20 million this summer before we even start selling players. Anyway, we move on. Nico Kuhn put, "What a season, special moments. Thank you for the support." Lewis Palmer gives him a clapping hands and a fire. Paulo Bernardo says, "What a player." Tyson Maida with love in his eyes. Arne Engels with a little tear in eyes. Look at the bottom one down there. Is that the goodbye post from Nico Kuhn? Does he know that he is going to be sold this summer? A lot of people have speculated that due to the fact that Newcastle United were interested in Nico Kuhn, and in the last transfer window, they have been keeping an eye on him, and we've accidentally played Newcastle in the next month or so, the end of July. Is it the goodbye? It's just putting out there, and yes, it's a slow news week, and we're only speculating, but the Arne Engels one, down on the bottom, the Arne Engels one with the little crying eye tear thing in the eyes, he knows it's a goodbye. The players will know. Brendan Rodgers said at the end of the season, he knows that he will lose some of his best players. Yesterday, not only did Nico Kuhn put that out, but Celtic put out pictures of Rio Hitate and Rio Hitate's last game of the season, Rio's final day, and it showed Rio Hitate all smiles. Now Celtic never do this. Celtic never do this. I can't remember a season gone by where we've celebrated players at the end of the season, after the end of the season. And it's just got me thinking, Celtic know the three players that are going to leave. So they put that out yesterday of Rio Hitate. Now, if they do know that they are the players that will be leaving, wouldn't it be good if they got other players in first, so it softens the blow? Remember, there was our manager not so long ago said, I don't worry about selling our best players because normally we're ahead of the game and we've brought players in and we've got them up to pace and they've maybe got 6 months in with us and then they're the natural progression. So we're not worried about losing them. We seem to have lost that. But what was even more worrying yesterday when it comes to Celtic is they put out this picture also, and it was Dyson Maida. Now you can understand if they put this one out celebrating the best player of the season for Celtic, but was this another one that was to do one player? Now all eyes will be on Celtic today because maybe if they keep this up with every single player, just to give them content, maybe it's just low news weeks on social media, and we'll wait and see. If they start doing it with every other player, well, I'm way off the mark this morning. But it does feel like that they're saying their goodbyes. It's maybe just me, but the one with Nico Kuhn and Arne Engels gives it away, if you ask me. The Arne Engels ones does give it away. Anyway, with all that happening and that's all outgoing, Celtic are playing in Italy. Yes, in the Como Cup, the biggest, worst kept secret in weeks. It was spoken about a few weeks ago that we're going to be playing Ajax and Como, two friendly bunch of teams when it comes to Celtic. Less we say about Ajax and Celtic fans, the better. We all know the history, and going back over the years, I was there both summers. It was fantastic. The Fenian lamppost still lives strong to this day. But anyway, thrown into the mix, another team from another part of the world that was linked, that Jota played for. But it's going to be an interesting few games. You will get a lot of Celtic fans that will go out for that because it's a fantastic location. It's a fantastic location, and to see some football would be absolutely tremendous. But then add into the mix add into the mix. So how much are we going to get for this Como Cup? That's the sort of first question. And you're talking between the 3 and 5 million mark, aren't you, for competing in that? And then when you look at the trip to Ireland, to Cork City, for the Cork Cup or whatever it's called, what they calling that one? That's another cup, isn't it? For the Cork City game. That'll be interesting to see. It's a Super Cup, the Cork Super Cup. That's it. It's the Cork Super Cup. So we've got chances at 3 cups this summer. Hey. But when you look at that, Celtic are going to make between 2 and 3 million for that game. And then there's the game at Celtic Park. Yes, there is a game at Celtic Park this summer that you can buy your own seat for. A lot of fans aren't happy about that. It's on the 19th of July. Looks like it will be the only game pre-season at Celtic Park. And us of an age can remember when Celtic used to give you a pre-season game and the Champions League qualifier, for instance, free on your season ticket, because you'd invested that much money with Celtic over the years, and it was a reward for being a loyal paying customer. Loyalty and paying customers just don't go hand in hand with Celtic anymore. They want to milk you for as much as you can. So Newcastle United come to town with the Adidas Cup. Yes, the fact that Celtic and Adidas are one of the hierarchy of Adidas merchandise. Yes, we sell £30 million worth of merchandise every season, every year. And so they've come out with another trophy, the Adidas Cup, that Celtic and Newcastle will play for, adding a little bit of spice to that game. And I don't mean spice, the drug that junkies are taking. It'll add a little bit of interestness to that game. Also, will Nico Kuhn have made the switch over to Newcastle before then, or will they wait until the 19th of July to see him in person and then do the deal at Celtic Park on that day? It's going to be an interesting summer. I agree with Chris Sutton, who has basically come out and said, look, it's all fine and dandy for Celtic off the park. You've just brought in 5 odd million for Frimpong. You're going to bring in another couple of million for Matt O'Reilly if he's sold. You've just brought in 3 million for Cork. You're going to bring in the ticket money from Newcastle and the money that Adidas is paying for that one. And then there's the trip to Italy to knock it all off, to round it off. And that'll bring in between 3 and 5 million coffers. So that you're talking at least around about the 15 million mark, and just here or there. Anyway. It's all about standards, isn't it? The fact that Celtic are bringing that kind of money in, is it not time for Celtics to start banging out transfers? Obviously, we lost a goalkeeper this week. Last week, in the name of Scott Bain. Scott Bain has joined Falkirk. Unbelievable. Falkirk's first signing of the summer is Scott Bain. He reckons his experience of working with Brendan Rodgers has set up, and the Celtic setup has placed him perfectly for coming back to the Scottish Premiership with Falkirk. The keeper, who's only 33-year-old, penned a 1-year deal with John McGlynn's side on Tuesday after his 7-year exit with Celtic. And first time in 15 years that Falkirk are going to be back in the SPFL. The former international Bain made 78 appearances during his time at Celtic, but he believes that working with Rodgers and the staff at Lennoxtown will stand him in good stead. Of course it will. Bain went on to say, I know from my time at Celtic, and they had come to an agreement. I was going to leave. Stevie Woods, goalkeeping coach, spoke to John, give him a heads up about my situation. Interesting. Stevie Woods is the... What's that all about, Stevie? Stevie Woods is he's in with the woodwork, isn't he? Pardon the pun. Yeah, I did just say that. He's in between the posts. Oh, it's too early in the morning. Just get on with the news, buzz. Having watched Falkirk play, it was a no-brainer for me, the club that I was going to come to, which is interesting. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation out there that he may go to Dunfermline because of the connection with the new Dunfermline manager, Neil Lennon, and then there was talk that Scott Brown might give his wee mate a wee but then never, But anyway, the boys have done phenomenal well over the last couple of seasons, says Bain, talking about Celtic. It says, it was sad to leave, but it was my time. I've got a fiance, a little boy. I want them to watch me play football. His wee boy must be thinking, Dad, you just, you didn't play football, did you? You just say you play football. His fiance was like, I thought I married a football player. Oh, I bet he got her on the fact that I'm a football player for Celtic. She's sitting in the stand every week going, my man, Scott Bain. Everyone's going, who? Anyway, whether it's leadership or stuff off the pitch, it says that if there's any advice I can give everyone, I've been in the situation before. I says I've come up for the championship, I know what to experience, and I hope to have a good start for the year. So fair play to Bainey, and I hope that he has a fantastic time. Will he come back to bite us on the bum? Will it be one of those situations? I mean, you know what it was like when we played Falkirk in the Cup last year? Brendan Rodgers put out a completely changed team, and that backfired. Will Bain be one of those players that when you look back and you go, why did we sell him? Well, we know why we sold him, because he's been sitting around for 7 years gathering dust, and he wants to play football, which is fair play to him, and I would be doing the same. Anyway, we are sitting on Wednesday the 4th of June. Celtic have made no signings as yet. The transfer market's open. There's lots of clubs doing lots of business early, getting in players early. It does close again on the 10th of June for the World Club Cup competition. Trying to say that in fast. It's one of those mornings, cool. It's just I've only had one coffee. Anyway, we'll be back with live tonight. Missed out last night and the night before, I think. I can't remember the last time I did a live. It is a low point of the down season. It's not pre-season yet. It's nothing. There's that gap in between where it's like nothing. That's my head. Somebody will screenshot that. Anyway, have a fantastic morning wherever you are, Celtic fans all around the world.